Right, here we go again. As no one has asked me a question, despite several pleas on LinkedIn, and my pipeline is empty, gone, finished, nothing in there. I think I'm going to be a bit narcissistic again and ask myself a question. I've tried the written prospectus. I've tried several variations of the storyboard and many posts, but never a video. So here we go with my question to me. Ron, yes, tell us about your Fundamentals of Change Management course and why we should attend it. yeah, okay. It's a bit of a salesy post video as well, but anyway, whatever. All right, before I start, I just want to say that this is not your normal type of course. It's a mix of old and current and new thinking. Also, it'll be relaxed and informal, conversational, full of real life stories, case studies, anecdotes, lots of shared practical insight, loads of lessons learned where I've done things right and done things wrong, and also additional resources from my archives that relate directly to what has been trained. Okay, introduction over. So what exactly does my course include? Yes, I know you've seen the LinkedIn posts, etc., but listen to me. I'm talking now. Overall, there are 8 modules of about 2 hours each, depending on questions and engagement, of course. Unlike other courses where you are forced to join based on the training organisation's schedule between X and X, my course modules can be scheduled to suit you, your own personal circumstances, and those that may want to take the course with you as well. I always advise, that we have an online, no obligation, informal chat to talk through what the best scenario is for you and come to a mutual agreement. That's the way it works. Once scheduled, these sessions can be changed at any time, depending though on my availability, okay? But we can talk about it. So, shall we get into a bit more detail? Yeah, okay, let's go then. So, first of all, Module 1, Session 1. What is change? It starts with some insights into the meaning of the word change. Session 2. What is change management? What I'll do is I'll then offer up some change management definitions and also give you a global overview of the size of the change management discipline. Session 3. This is followed by details about the never-ending debate, the difference between change management and project management. And I will provide different insights into how they differ and also try and answer the question of how to integrate the two disciplines. And then finally, Session 4, I'll then introduce you to some drivers for change, probe major change challenges and some attributes, that make change successful. All right, Module 2. An introduction to change management models and methodologies. Should be interesting. During this module, yes, of course, I'll give you a brief overview of the use of change management methodologies. Plus, in Session 1, an overview of Kurt Lewin's unfreeze, change, refreeze model and some pros and cons. Session 2, an overview of Kotter's 8 steps, his latest one for leading change and pros and cons. Session 3, an overview of ProSci's three-phase change management model and ADCAR, the latest 3 phases, by the way, plus some pros and cons. And then guess what? Session 4, Of course, an overview of the highway of change's practical framework approach to change, and some pros and cons. That was a difficult one. But I also at the end make a case for building bespoke methodologies rather than just relying on one single one. Right, module 3. First session is an outline of how to undertake a change readiness assessment exercise right at the beginning of your initiative. Session 2 will then take a look at the different approaches and different ways of implementing change. Session 3 covers the important subject of the people side of change, the way they are impacted and their reactions to it. Then session 4, I'll provide details of various approaches of how to change people's mindsets and how they behave. Session 5 then goes a little bit deeper and provides an overview of how the brain reacts to change. Great. All right, next up, module 4. Session 1, I'll go through the complex subject of changing organisational culture and provide some new thinking on the subject. Session 2, I'll follow this up with an examination of the causes of change resistance, how to manage resistance, the needs of people and how to inspire them to support change. Then session 3 is followed by sorry, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Anyway, it's how to use change agents, which helps make change successful, and also how to build a change agent network. Module 5A. Prior to the course, I'll ask you to undertake a simple exercise for which I will send you a scenario and ask you to give feedback via a survey as to how you would handle this specific change situation. Following an analysis of your answers, I will then go through them during the module, session 5A, with you and provide some benchmark answers to compare for us to discuss. It's always an interesting one to see whether we're the same or how far apart we are. But there are no wrong answers. Right, module 5B. Having provided you earlier on with a high-level overview of my PFAC, or Practical Framework Approach to Change, in module 2, I will then take you through the 3 core foundations of change management in more detail. Please note that all the following sessions, from now on, will also have a case study, some old, some new, associated with them to demonstrate how they were used in real life scenarios by me during the course of some of my projects. Session 1, sponsorship. Number 1. I'll detail different types of sponsors and their roles and responsibilities and key activities. Remember, sponsorship is the one thing that makes change successful based on many surveys out there. Number 2, stakeholders. I'll take you through a simple stakeholder engagement model and how stakeholders can be analysed and managed. Session 3, the third foundation, communication. I'll then introduce another simple communication model coupled with how to create change awareness and what different communication channels can and should be used. Coming on to module 6. After the foundations, I'll take you through the building blocks of change. So the first session will be process change. Process is the beginning of everything. So how to create a process hierarchy, map the as-is and the to-be processes, and the need to critically examine them both for efficiencies. Session 2, organisational change, which naturally follows on from process change. A simple model of the 4 elements you need to cover to evaluate and determine what kind of organisational change you're going to need. Session 3, change impact assessment based on your process change and your organisational change, and look at how to gauge the scope, the size and overall impact of the change and focus where you need to. Phew, module 7, nearly there. Session 1 will be training management. I'll go through all of the necessary key activities needed to ensure people are adequately trained. Session 2, business readiness. This will cover how to measure the readiness of a business for go live from project start to project end, okay? Then session 3, adoption and usage. I'll take you through the difference between the two, because there are, but also how the two need to be measured in tandem or aligned with each other to make sure that people are actually using and adopting what you have delivered. I call usage and adoption the holy grail of change management. Module 8, session 1, business benefits management. Very, very important, because this is again what it's all about, as well as adoption and usage. This will be a walkthrough of the essential elements of measuring and managing business benefits. Session 2, continuous improvement. This will give you an insight into the plan, do, check and act methodology, or PDCA, because change never stops even at go live. It always continues afterwards, so you need to capture those changes. And session 3, finally, I'll go through what change, success and failure look like, and end up with a story, an interesting story. You'll also get additional resources. So as well as the case studies I mentioned earlier in the video, I'll send you additional resources from my vast archive of resources, and also add links to the two videos on my YouTube channel that directly relate to the modules being trained on. You'll get certified and recognition. I'll send you a certificate which states that you have become a certified highway of change agent. And if you are a member of the Project Management Institute, you can also apply for 16 personal development units. Okay, well, what are the fees, I hear you ask? Well, I'm not going to divulge the full fee here, but you will be astounded at the fee level I am offering. If you quote VID 55 in any correspondence with me as a result of this video, I will offer you a massive 25% off my normal fee. So why should you go through my training? Okay, let me give you some trainee feedback first of all. The course leader, I have 96% that agree or strongly agree with some statements. Course content, I have 93% of people who agree or strongly agree with some statements. And as for course outcomes, I have 93% as well that agree or strongly agree. In terms of negative feedback, I only have 0.6% who have said they disagree or strongly disagree with some of the statements. In terms of qualitative feedback, I'll give you a sample. I could go on forever because I've got loads, but some have said, one is, Ron is a very talented trainer. Ron is the best trainer that I have ever met. You get Ron's years of practical experience. Ron provides a good mix of the old, new and current thinking, which I mentioned earlier. Ron is a star trainer and he has unique trainer traits. Wonder what they are. His way of delivering was based on experience, yes, yeah, and was authentic and practical. It excited me on how each lesson and topic could be applied to my current work. It felt like Ron was sitting next to me, imparting his knowledge. Ron is an engaging trainer. Okay. Ron's delivery style brought the training to life. Although Ron was online, it felt like face to face. Ron is very energetic and an easy to listen to instructor. So there we have it. I look forward to hearing from you about my training. So thank you very much. Don't forget VID 55 for 25% discount. Sorry, 15 minutes, just over 15 minutes of video, but there was a lot to cover. So thanks for listening. Cheers.